tell them to put their guns down, lay down on the floor with their hands behind their back, they'll do that, won't they?
Is that a timeout? That's the median nerve. That's a 3. You don't want me to go to 4. 16 seconds.
The movie opens with ex-Marine Robert McCall, who is getting ready to go to work. He is very kind and friendly to everyone around him.
When they pay,
They say. Thank you.
later.
Bet you didn't have to push no dollies at your old job, did you?
Guilty as charged.
During lunch, he is sitting at a table with his friend Ralphie. Ralphie wants to pass the test to become a security guard, but his biggest challenge is his oversized body.
You want to make security guard, you got to lose weight, you got to test in 1 week. Now, you asked me to help you, but if you're not willing to apply yourself.
No more chips.
No more chips.
Who needs flavor, right?
In the evening, Robert returns home. He lives alone and takes care of everything himself. After washing the dishes, he goes to bed to read a book. However, he struggles to fall asleep. He decides to visit the Bridge Diner, where he goes every night for food and tea. While sitting there, he reads his book. At the diner, there is a girl named Terry. She talks to Robert as if they know each other well.
You catch that fish yet?
Just hooked it.
It's about damn time.
Thought you were gonna give up that refined sugar.
Any day now.
Huh?
All right, well, let me know what happens with that fish.
The next day, Robert is at work when one of his young co-workers asks him about his previous job and workplace. Robert jokingly says he used to be in a dance group.
Oh, come on. Stop it. Don't do that right now. Don't do that. Yo, so which one were you?
One on the right.
He's bald.
So he had a wig on.
That's gone, yo.
That's him.
In the evening, Robert goes back to the diner, as usual, orders tea, and sits down with a book. He meets Terry again, and she notices that he is reading a different book this time. Curious, she asks him about the ending of the previous book. Robert explains it to her in detail, and they have a pleasant conversation.
You ever catch it? Fish.
Old man tied the fish to the side of the boat, had to row back to shore. Sharks came and ate the whole fish till there was nothing left. He saw himself in the fish.
Why didn't he just let the fish go?
The old man's got to be the old man. Fish got to be the fish. Got to be who you are in this world, right?
During their talk, Terry receives a call from Slavi, her agent. Slavi informs her that there is a client waiting in a car outside the diner. Terry refuses to go because she does not like the client, but Slavi does not care about her feelings. He forces her to go anyway. Reluctantly and against her will, Terry has to leave. The next day, Robert is helping Ralphie with his training, encouraging and motivating him to do his best.
Oh, come on now, come on.
How you gonna pull me out of a burning building if you can't pull a tire 20 yards?
Pull. Come on. Who's gonna make security guard?
There you go. I like it. Let's do it again.
In the evening, Robert is back at the diner when he notices bruises on Terry's face. Concerned, he offers her a donut cake to cheer her up. Terry sits down with him and hands him a CD, saying that she has recorded this by herself and she has sung different songs on it. She asks Robert to watch it and give her his feedback. As they talk, Terry tells Robert that she has met many people and men in her life, but there is something very different about him. She mentions that his eyes seem to speak in a unique way she has never seen before, and suggests that he might feel lonely after losing his wife. Robert tells Terry that his wife had a habit of reading books, and that he picked up the habit from her. He explains that his wife had a wish to read 100 books, but she passed away before she could fulfill it. He adds that he has read 91 books so far and is determined to complete her wish.
My real name's Alina.
What happened to your face?
So stupid.
Oh, wow. Alina, the singer, you can be anything you want to be.
Sorry, this damn thing. 91 books, though. What are you going to do after that?
Open a donut factory. Ow. It's good.
They leave the diner and start walking down the road, having a conversation. As they walk, a car pulls up beside them, and Slavi gets out. He angrily slaps Terry. Robert wants to step in and help her, but Terry stops him, asking him to stay out of it. Slavi then turns to Robert and says, if he wants another girl, he can arrange that for Robert, but not Terry.
Call this number. I send you another one. Better.
After this incident, Robert does not see Terry at the diner for many days. He becomes increasingly worried about her. One day, the diner manager informs Robert that someone had brutally beaten Terry, and now she is in the ICU. Robert goes to the hospital to visit Terry and sees her in terrible condition. Her face is badly bruised, and it is clear she has been through a lot. Terry's friend Mandy is there with her, crying uncontrollably. Robert asks Mandy what happened. Mandy explains that she and Terry work together, and Slavy is their boss. She says that one of the clients misbehaved with Terry, so Terry hit him. In anger, Slavy beat her up brutally.
You and I know what I really am.
He said he'd cut her throat next time.
He decides to confront Slavy. Robert goes to Slavy's office where Slavy is sitting with his bodyguards. Robert hands Slavy an envelope and asks him to free Terry. Slavy and his bodyguards burst into laughter, mocking Robert.
I'm here for that girl.
You still can get it up, dedushka? This girl, she have a name?
Her name's Alina. I can give you $9,800.
For what?
Her freedom.
Uh-huh. You can think that you can come into my place of business and just buy whatever you want. Just $9,000 for the troublemaker. 1 month. That's it.
Okay.
You're okay, дедушка? Bye-bye.
До свидания, папа.
You're the Americans.
Seconds.
Alina, the girl you beat half to death, her life's gonna go on. Yours is gonna end right here on this funky floor. 27, 1,000. 28, 1,000.
After returning home, Robert sleeps peacefully. Meanwhile, a Russian gangster named Teddy arrives at the crime scene and notices a camera, but to his surprise, none of the cameras have recorded any footage. Teddy meets with some corrupt police officers to gather clues, but none of them have any information. Everyone assumes that an opposing gang must have been behind the attack.
I'm accountable now.
Listen, pal, I don't like your
You've
tone with
taken
me.
Mr. Pushkin's money for years. I'm not here to say, please. I'm here to tell you what to do.
The next day, while Robert is at work, Ralphie shows him a slip, proudly saying that he has lost weight and is now ready to pass the test. In the evening, Robert is at home when he sees the news reporting that Slavy and his bodyguards have died in a gang fight. The next day, when Robert arrives at work, he learns that Ralphie is no longer at the workplace. The manager informs him that Ralphie has left the job. Robert feels confused and uneasy, wondering why Ralphie would leave so suddenly. Robert visits the small restaurant run by Ralphie's mother. Ralphie explains that there was an electrical fault that caused a fire, and that is why he is helping his mother. However, Robert senses that Ralphie is not telling the whole truth. When he asks Ralphie to explain the real story behind the incident, Ralphie lies, claiming it was just an accident. Robert feels that something is being hidden, but Ralphie is trying to cover it up. Meanwhile, Teddy and Johnny Dooney have an intense encounter. Teddy approaches Johnny to ask about a murder, but Johnny becomes angry and insults Teddy, calling him a Russian.
We pay you 15% to do business here. We will not tolerate us getting nothing for our money. No information, no protection.
Roll this, mother!
What the was that?
It's a message. It says, I'm here.
A group of corrupt police officers is seen eating and drinking at Ralphie's mother's restaurant. One of the officers changes the closed sign and forces the remaining customers to leave. He then threatens Ralphie's mother, warning her that if help is not provided soon, another incident like the fire could occur at her restaurant. It soon becomes clear that these two corrupt officers were responsible for the fire incident at the restaurant a few days ago, and their actions are part of a much larger scheme. Afterward, they step outside and meet Robert. Robert asks them if he can file a report, but the officers suggest that he call 911 to register his complaint.
Yeah, you must have a death wish, pal. Those people you took the money from, maybe you should give it back.
Tomorrow you'll have returned all the money you extorted from those people. Now I'm offering you a chance to do the right thing. Take it.
Mr. McCall, you done standing around or what?
Robert is playing baseball with his co-workers, and Ralphie, now a security guard, thanks Robert for his help and expresses his happiness. The following day, while Robert is at work, he notices a man pointing a gun at Jenny, the cashier, demanding money.
All of it. Give me all of it. That ring, too. Give me that ring.
It was my mother's.
Your mother. Give me that ring.
It's okay, Jenny.
Police said the guy's done 4 like this, shot a guy over in Somerville a month ago.
Oh my God.
We're very close to Terry. You lied to me about that. Did anyone else visit her?
A man.
Customer.
A black man. He wanted to know what happened to her.
Please.
Please.
So beautiful.
Please, Teddy.
Teddy, disguised as Detective Gusto, visits Robert's house. However, Robert was fully prepared for the situation and confidently replied that he had gone to the restaurant to meet a lady, but she was not available because her child was sick, so he did not meet her. Teddy then shows Robert a picture of Mandy and asks if he knows her. Robert denies any knowledge of her. Teddy proceeds to tell Robert that Mandy's neck was broken and she was killed. Now, Robert starts having doubts about Teddy and asks how he has tracked him. Teddy replies that it is easy for people like them. After saying this, Teddy leaves. One day, when Robert is at the restaurant as usual, a man dressed in an electrician's uniform walks in. Robert becomes suspicious and asks him if he's alone. He then asks where his goons are, and if he is an electrician, why his hands are so clean.
Hands where I can see him. Black Denali.
Here we go.
He varies from these instructions and I'm gonna kill you, understand?
What the hell is this guy doing?
Rima, you got A side, front, follow. You got C, I got B.
Teddy and his men follow Robert, but on the way, Robert fights one of them. They continue chasing him until they reach his apartment, where Robert treats his wounds by heating up a cloth and wrapping it around them. There is a sound of water running from inside the bathroom, so they check and find that no one is inside. They search the entire house but cannot find Robert anywhere. Robert then meets his old friends, Brian and Susan. These three had previously worked for an intelligence company. Robert shows Susan the picture of Teddy and asks her for information, wanting to know who he is. While Robert is talking to Brian, it is revealed that Robert had pre-planned his fake death in a car accident a few years ago so that he could leave his intelligence life behind and live a normal life. Susan tells Robert that the people he has killed were members of the Russian Mafia, and their supreme leader is Vladimir Pushkin. Teddy was sent by Pushkin, and his real name is Nikolai. Susan asks Robert to be careful, as he would be Teddy's next target.
Robert, that girl, Alina.
I couldn't tell you why. It mattered why what they did to her. That mattered to me so much.
Sometimes we make the wrong choices to get to the right place.
Robert then goes to Frank's house and traps him inside the car. He demands information about Pushkin, threatening to kill him if he does not reveal everything.
Pushkin. Need to know everything.
I am a cop, you moron! I swear to God.
Huh?
I'm Boston, beat it!
I don't have a lot of time. I'll be back.
No!
We're here to see Andre.
Robert then takes Frank to a warehouse where millions of dollars in cash are being counted. Robert puts the leader at gunpoint and demands that the other goons surrender.
Pushkin made the call. I'm just a new guy. Is that a heckler cock?
No! All right! Whoa!
Tell them to put their guns down, lay down on the floor with their hands behind their back. They'll do that, won't they?
He ties them all up in one room, gives the workers some money, and lets them go. Robert then handcuffs Frank and forces him to call the police. He demands that Frank provide all the evidence against Pushkin. When the police arrive, they arrest the gangsters and Frank, taking all the money into their custody. Teddy is so worried about the situation that he refuses to answer Pushkin's call. Robert confronts Teddy, demanding that he has to stop everything, warning him that he has all the evidence against him. Teddy responds that he does not care about it. Robert leaves, declaring that he will not stop and will kill them all.
I've done some bad things in my life. I promised someone that I love very much that I would never go back to being that person. You ask me what I saw when I looked at you. What do you see when you look at me?
Later, Robert checks the pen drive he finds in Frank's safety deposit box. He retrieves all the information and sends it to an FBI agent. The data includes details about Pushkin's oil tanks, and Robert heads to the warehouse where he destroys the oil tankers in a blast. Pushkin calls Teddy, instructing him to kill Robert immediately. Teddy assures him that he has a new team and everything will be taken care of. In one photo, Teddy sees Robert with Ralphie and thinks that he has found Robert's weak point. Robert receives a call from Teddy, who informs him that they have kidnapped Ralphie and some co-workers. Teddy threatens to kill them unless Robert comes to the warehouse. Teddy notices that the bus Robert is supposed to be on is empty. Meanwhile, Robert secretly goes to the warehouse. Just as Teddy is about to kill Ralphie and the co-workers, loud music suddenly starts playing in the warehouse. One of the goons asks Ralphie where the loud music is coming from. Ralphie leads him to the security room.
Стой здесь, don't shoot!
Very clever, Mr. McCall. I decided to come and see you.
I'll be waiting for you.
It's me, Mr. McCall.
Ralphie is worried, but Robert motivates him to keep going. To distract Teddy, Ralphie runs in one direction while Robert plants explosives. After completing his mission, Robert leaves the scene. After 3 days, Robert arrives in Moscow, where Pushkin is taking a bath in his bathroom. Robert begins turning the lights on and off, using the trick to haunt Pushkin. Robert then methodically kills Pushkin's guards and sets up an electrical trap for Pushkin himself.
What do you gain from my death?
Peace.
What is your price? Are you there?
Robert returns to Boston, where he reunites with Terry, who has recovered from her injuries.
I'm reading now.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Very good.
When they gave me my stuff back at the hospital, there was this envelope with my name on it. Almost $10,000 inside.
Body, mind.
Spirit, thank you for everything. Bye, Robert.
Bye, Alina.
Few years later, Robert is traveling to Istanbul on a train and is seen reading a book during the journey. He has changed his appearance, blending in with the crowd. Beside him, another man is seated, and when this man gets up to leave, Robert begins to follow him. Suspicious of being followed, the man turns to Robert and asks if he is heading to Istanbul. Robert calmly responds that he is going there to find a man who took a child away from her mother in Boston and brought her to Istanbul. Hearing this, the man becomes visibly nervous, as he is the very person Robert is searching for. This man had abducted his daughter from his American wife in an act of revenge against her. Fearing that Robert might act against him, he orders his bodyguards to eliminate him.
Do you think I could find that man in Turkey? Or maybe...
Would not be looking for such a man.
God is my witness. I would give him a chance to think about the worst thing that could ever happen to him.
my baby.
Just that 45 minutes ago, someone delivered your daughter to the desk downstairs.
Robert now works as a cab driver. One day, he picks up an elderly man named Sam, who is searching for his sister, lost since childhood. During the ride, Robert and Sam form a good bond.
Always be nice to anybody has access to your toothbrush.
Robert lives in a quiet neighborhood where a woman named Fatima lives nearby. She loves gardening and deeply respects Robert. One night, Robert gets a call from a customer. When he arrives, he sees the customer with a young girl. The man asks the girl to sit in the cab and tells Robert to drop her at her home. However, Robert notices that the girl is in terrible condition. She seems to be drugged and might have been harmed. Instead of taking her home, Robert takes her to the hospital to ensure she gets the treatment she needs. Robert then returns to the same place where he had picked up the girl and tells the people there that what they did was wrong.
The credit card was invalid.
Come in.
You're not gonna ask me if she got home okay?
She get home okay?
Took her to Mass General. They're pumping her stomach as we speak. This is the point where usually I'd give you a chance to do the right thing, but not tonight. Call 911. You tell them the truth about what happened in here tonight. Her name is Amy. Give me your left hand. I expect a 5-star rating, you understand?
After making sure they understand the consequences, Robert leaves the place. In Belgium, a man named Mr. Calbert lives in a house with his wife. One day, he finds his wife crying while 3 goons are in the house with them. Calbert pleads with the men not to harm his wife, but one of the goons ruthlessly shoots Mrs. Calbert in the head. Another goon tells Calbert that they do not know him personally but have been ordered to kill him. He then forces Calbert to hold a gun and commands him to shoot himself in the mouth. Meanwhile, in Boston, Robert visits a bookshop because of his love for reading. He orders a book and later returns to pick it up. The manager of the shop is Grace, the same woman Robert helped by reuniting her with her daughter. Grace's daughter recognizes Robert, but he quietly asks the girl to stay silent and not tell Grace about him. When Robert returns home, he notices that the lights in his house are on. Sensing something unusual, he becomes alert and takes out his gun. As he enters the house, he finds his old friend Susan waiting for him. They sit down for dinner together, and Susan explains that she is in town for a meeting and decided to visit Robert. She also reminds him that his late wife Vivian's birthday is approaching.
I'm sorry if I made a mistake coming to you on Vivian's birthday. It's great you helping all these random people and everything, but make peace with it. It's what Vivian would have wanted. Always a gentleman.
That's right.
Hey, I'm obligated to tell you these things.
One day, Robert notices that someone has ruined Fatima's garden, vandalized the walls, and made them messy by writing on them. A neighbor mentions that some children are responsible for the damage. Robert decides to help Fatima and starts cleaning the walls himself. While Robert was working, a boy named Miles Whitaker appeared and remarked that since Robert lived there on rent, it wasn't his responsibility to clean the walls, as that was the landlord's job. Robert responded that someone had to clean the walls, so he was doing it. Miles then offered to clean the walls for $350, claiming he was an artist and studied at a school of arts. Robert, curious, asked why Miles did not attend college regularly. Miles simply replied that he did not want to go and then left. After some time, Miles returns and notices that Robert is still cleaning the walls.
You still out here doing this?
Yes, I am.
I've been thinking about your offer. $250. $250, I'd take care of all of this for you.
You can only work on it after school. Don't curse.
Don't be checking me, all right?
I'll be checking for you.
All right.
Stay off them corners, son.
The next day, Sam and Robert are sitting together on a bench by the seaside. Sam takes out a picture and shows it to Robert. He explains that when he was a child, after the war, he got separated from his sister. The picture is now part of an auction for their old family paintings, and Sam says it is the last memory he has of his family. However, the people in charge of the auction are demanding proof of ownership. Sam tells Robert that he will keep trying to save the family picture from being auctioned off. Susan is having a meeting on her laptop with the CIA about Calbert's murder. She is informed that she needs to go to Belgium for further investigation. Before leaving, she meets with Robert, who hands her an envelope and asks her to find something in it. Inside the envelope is the same photo that Sam had given to Robert earlier. Upon reaching the scene of Calbert's murder, Susan is joined by Dave. They carefully observe the surroundings and check every detail. Susan instructs everyone to investigate Calbert's Gmail accounts and bank details. Meanwhile, Sam is feeling upset and confides in Robert, telling him that the judge has not even looked at his evidence. He feels like he will never find his sister again.
Is my sister Magda. Was younger, but that's the only picture survived. I could never protect her. To lose her twice, I can't imagine.
Later, as Susan enters her hotel room, two goons forcibly enter and demand money.
You can make this pop out. The cost of this entire building.
Yeah, listen, I'm reading your book right now, and I can't believe you... Yeah. Got it.
Robert immediately heads to Washington to meet Brian. Brian explains that the hotel management claims it was a robbery gone wrong, which is a common occurrence there. However, Susan was not wearing any jewelry, which strikes both of them as odd and suspicious. Robert begins investigating the matter by reviewing the hotel's camera footage. He carefully analyzes the footage from the crime scene and the surrounding areas. He also checks the footage of the hotel lift, which shows Susan being taken to her room. After examining everything closely, Robert begins to suspect two boys who were present at the hotel. The two boys are now in their apartment, enjoying loud music and seemingly carefree. However, their enjoyment is interrupted when a phone rings. The phone does not belong to either of them, and they become immediately worried. Suddenly, an explosion occurs, killing both boys in blast. Outside the apartment, a man named Resnick is sitting in his car, observing everything that is happening. Once the explosion occurs and the boys are killed, Resnick quickly drives away with his team. It becomes clear that Resnick and his team are involved in the bloody events. Meanwhile, Dave is jogging in the park, and Robert happens to be there as well. Robert calls out to Dave, and Dave is surprised to see him. He had thought Robert was dead, but seeing him alive brings him great joy and shock. Robert then tells Dave about his investigation into Susan's murder. He explains his suspicions regarding the two boys, thinking they might be the killers. Dave informs Robert that those two boys are dead due to a gas leakage accident earlier that day. Undeterred, Robert shows Dave the post-mortem report and points out that the knife used in Susan's murder was not ordinary. He concludes that the murder was not a robbery gone wrong, but something much more calculated and purposeful.
She never pushed a button, Dave.
Who?
Susan. She never pushed a floor number. I checked all the video. You find him?
Gas explosion. At least that's what they're calling it.
What do you call it?
Tying up loose ends. Close quarter techniques.
Exactly. That was taught. This was no robbery.
Mac, whatever it is, whatever you need. I'm in.
Two gangsters approach Miles and take him with them. Robert decides to follow them and tracks them to their apartment. Once there, he fights with the guards and forces Miles to come with him.
Yo, man, elevator's closed. Your mother already buried your brother. Don't have her bury two sons.
Who the fuck is this nigga? I'm your father. Your mama just didn't tell you.
Where you going, dude? Yeah?
Is it what you want? I thought you wanted to draw it. Isn't that what you said?
That's gonna pay the fucking bills?
If that's what makes you feel like a man, then be a real man. Let's get jumped in right now. Here. Come on, killer. Here you go. 5 pounds of pressure, that's all it takes. 5 pounds of pressure. See what happens when you deal with a liar? You see what happens when you deal with... What you see, yummy? You don't know.
Oh, no.
You got a chance, and I want to hear about your environment, what your mama didn't give you, and the white man won't give you no shot. You got a chance. You have no idea what death is.
But why me?
Let's find out together.
Miles, however, explains that someone has murdered his brother, and he is with the gangsters because he wants their help to take revenge for his brother's death. Robert tells Miles that these people are not good for him, and warns that his future and career will be ruined if he stays with them. Miles listens to Robert and agrees to come with him. Later, Robert is driving a passenger to the airport in his cab. He starts feeling suspicious of the man based on his words and actions, so Robert decides to change the route. The man then attacks Robert, and a fight breaks out inside the car.
Guess you don't fly that often. Been driving in the opposite direction of Logan for the last 3 minutes.
Robert takes the phone and goes to Dave's house. When Dave asks what happens, Robert gives him the phone and asks him to take it to the office to check the number. Robert then dials a number and Dave's phone starts ringing. Robert, surprised, tells Dave that while checking the phone, he finds a number with many calls on it. He checks the number and, surprisingly, it is Dave's number. Robert discovers that Dave is the mastermind behind everything. He confronts Dave, asking why he did all of this. Dave explains that after the news of Robert's death, the government expelled them, and he had to start working in this way to earn money. He continues, saying that after Calbert's death, Susan started investigating and was getting closer to discovering the truth. To prevent his name from being exposed, Dave killed her.
You do what you have to do and you move on.
We all gotta pay for our sins.
Oh, yeah, what about you? Do you deserve to die?
It's what we did, it's what you did. Now it's what we do.
Family.
We all want you to know none of this is personal.
Everything we do comes with a price, but I'm gonna kill each and every one of you, and the only disappointment in it for me is that I only get to do it once.
Dave said you could give me a lift to the station?
You take the little one.
Okay.
Brian is very emotional as he sees Susan's dresses, feeling deeply sad about her loss. As he is processing his grief, Dave's bodyguards enter Brian's house, but Robert is already there. Quietly, Robert moves behind Brian and warns him that his life is in danger, explaining that the person who killed Susan is now after him. Robert then quickly takes Brian to a safe place. Meanwhile, Miles is painting the wall when he calls Robert, asking if he can eat something from his fridge. While at Robert's apartment, Miles hears the dogs barking outside. Robert asks him to look out the window, and Miles initially thinks it might be a delivery boy. However, after a moment, he realizes that someone is trying to break into the house. Robert, noticing the same on the CCTV footage, watches the situation unfold. Dave and his men arrive at the location with the intention to kill Robert. Robert tells Miles to stay calm and directs him to take a book from the bookshelf. Robert tells Miles that there is a button inside and instructs him to press it, as it will lead him into the secret room where he can hide. However, in the secret room, Miles starts to suffocate from the lack of air. Just as Dave is about to find the secret room, Robert calls him and arranges a meeting, sending him the location.
It's a mistake to go to war with us, McCall.
You know where I'll be.
He's going home. Hey, kid.
Meanwhile, Robert heads toward the old town. Dave eventually reaches the same place and begins searching for Robert. He climbs to the top of a tower to keep an eye on everything below. A huge fight breaks out between Robert and Dave, along with his guards. Robert manages to kill almost all the guards, leaving only Resnick and Dave.
I got moved at 12 o'clock. Kovac, move in.
Making entry, north side. I got a blood trail, looks like he's headed across the main drag.
Rear the bakery.
Dave orders Resnick to go into the bakery, but Resnick accidentally throws a grenade inside, killing himself in the process. Meanwhile, Dave targets Robert from the top of the tower, calling out to him to surrender. He threatens to kill Miles if Robert does not comply. Robert, however, reaches the top of the tower and engages in a fierce fight with Dave.
Show yourself!
Yep.
My mom's just gonna be pissed.
Yeah, I'll talk to her.
Miles notices an old photo of Robert with his wife, where Robert is dressed in his army uniform. The garden of Fatima is rescued, and Robert notices that Miles has created a beautiful painting on the wall. Miles, now on the bus, proudly shows his sketches to a nearby girl. Inspired and motivated by Robert, he begins believing in his talent and dreams of a brighter future. Meanwhile, Sam is reunited with his long-lost sister Magda, bringing joy and closure to a chapter of his life that had been filled with uncertainty.
Hi, Sammy.
Many years later, in the beautiful city of Sicily, a powerful crime lord drives his car with his grandson. They have just arrived at his vast vineyard, surrounded by hills. As they pull up, Lorenzo notices something odd. A man is standing outside the house, his face pale and his body trembling with stress. Lorenzo tells his grandson to stay in the car. With a few of his loyal men by his side, he steps out of the car and approaches the house cautiously. As they enter the house, the heavy door creaks open. The sight that greets them is chilling. Everywhere there are dead bodies. Blood has stained the floors, the walls, and even the furniture. Some bodies are slumped against the walls, while others lie in pools of blood. He gestures for his men to search the house, moving through each room slowly, his gun held tight in his hand. Lorenzo, a tough gangster himself, feels a wave of fear as he sees the brutal scene before him. As he steps forward, he notices a man standing in the middle of the room, Robert. He has killed everyone there, and the room is silent except for the heavy breathing of Lorenzo's men, who quickly point their guns at Robert. Lorenzo, trying to stay calm, asks him that why is he here? Robert looks at him with cold eyes and replies that if something does not belong to him, he should not have taken it. He also warns him to face the consequences.
You took something that didn't belong to you. I'm here to take it back.
Adesso sei qui.
9 seconds. That's what you have to decide your fate.
Fermo.
Okay.
Robert sits in the car, feeling very distressed and weak. After some time of driving, he starts to feel dizzy and eventually loses consciousness. A local police officer notices the car and, concerned, takes Robert to a nearby doctor named Enzo. Enzo quickly starts treating him. After some time, Robert regains consciousness. Enzo looks at him and, with a calm but serious tone, Enzo asks Robert if he is a good person or a bad person. Robert thinks for a while and tells Enzo that he does not know if he is a good person or a bad person. He tries to get up, but Enzo insists that he rest and makes him lie back down. After 3 days, Robert regains consciousness. Enzo hands him a stick and encourages him to go outside and explore the city.
Good thing I kept my father's cane. Huh?
Easy. How long
3 days today. Roberto, to the left, the steps, the piazza.
As Robert wanders around, he eventually sits down at a cafe. A waitress brings him a cup of coffee. Gio walks up to him. He introduces himself and mentions that he has a young daughter named Chiara Benucci. Gio then hands Robert the keys to a car. At the CIA office, a dedicated agent named Collins is busy with her routine work when she receives an unexpected call from Robert. During the conversation, Robert shares crucial information about a discovery he made at a vineyard in Sicily. He explains that the location is connected to illegal activities and urges her to investigate further, hinting at something significant but withholding many details.
Just passing through. I thought it might be of interest to you people.
Let me get something to write this down with.
No need for that. Everything on this line is recorded anyway, right?
Collins. Yeah, I have a potential op situation.
Collins contacts her partner, Frank Conroy, and together they assemble a team to head to the vineyard. Upon arrival, they conduct a thorough search and uncover shocking evidence, a hidden place containing 11 million euros in cash, along with a massive stash of narcotics. The scale of the discovery indicates the involvement of a highly organized criminal network. Eager to understand the full scope of the situation, Collins begins piecing together the puzzle. She tracks Robert down in the quiet town of Altoonte, where he has been staying. Robert tries to find peace by spending time with the locals and building friendships in Altoonte. However, at night, memories of the vineyard haunt him. He remembers the violent acts he committed and the people he killed, and these thoughts weigh heavily on him. The next day, he goes to the cafe for lunch, hoping to distract himself. While sitting there, he notices a young boy entering the cafe, taking an envelope from the owner and leaving quickly. Curious, Robert watches as the boy hands the envelope to a biker waiting outside. The biker, Marco Quaranta, seems like someone important and dangerous. Robert soon realizes Marco is a local gangster, collecting money from businesses and exploiting the community.
Andiamo, forza. Andiamo.
Marco, along with his entire gang, heads to visit his older brother Vincent, the most powerful gangster in the city. Vincent is seated in a modest apartment surrounded by his men. He speaks with the apartment owner, expressing his interest in purchasing the property. However, the owner refuses to sell, clearly afraid of Vincent's reputation. Vincent, known for his ruthless tactics, remains calm as he listens to the refusal, but his demeanor quickly shifts from polite to menacing. He calmly explains that the owner does not really have a choice in the matter, as Vincent always gets what he wants. The situation takes a dark turn, as Vincent's guards throw the old apartment owner out of the window, killing him instantly. Vincent commands Marco to collect as much money as he can from the people. Vincent orders that he is planning something big, and he will need all the resources. Robert goes to Angelo's fish shop to buy some fish. After finishing the transaction, Robert tries to pay, but Angelo refuses. He tells Robert that he is his guest and cannot take money from him. Angelo's kindness stands out, but Robert understands that the peace might not last long in the dangerous city. Collins arrives in Sicily at the vineyard with her whole team. They discover a large amount of drugs and black money hidden there. The boss of Collins becomes very distressed and upset because they had not been able to uncover this location earlier. He asks Collins to gather the history of the man who had called her and provided the tip about the vineyard. He insists that she collect more detailed information from him, as he believes the man is not an ordinary person and may have important connections or information. Robert is at Enzo's place for the examination of his injuries. Enzo tells Robert that he is okay now. Robert asks Enzo why he treated him when he was badly injured with so many bullets, something no ordinary person could survive. Enzo replies that he asked Robert a question, whether he was a good person or a bad person. Robert's response, saying he did not know, led Enzo to believe that Robert was a good person. Robert thanks Enzo for his care and begins packing his things to leave. When Robert steps outside, he notices a wave of panic as people run in every direction, creating a scene of chaos. He sees Angelo devastated, crying uncontrollably in front of his burnt shop. The fire has destroyed everything, leaving Angelo without his only source of income. The crowd tries to console him, but the situation is overwhelming. On the other side, Robert spots Marco standing calmly, as if unaffected by the destruction. Robert quickly realizes that Marco is behind the arson, determined to help the people and restore some order to the city. Robert makes a resolve not to leave without addressing the escalating violence and corruption. He is determined to bring justice to those who are suffering. The next day, as the community comes together to help Angelo rebuild his shop, Robert sits quietly in a cafe. He notices Collins, who is sitting nearby, trying to take his photo secretly. Robert, aware of her attempts, calmly addresses her that if she wants to take his photo, then she should take a good and clear one.
Who are you? What were you doing on that farm in Sicily? Who do you work for?
I'm retired.
From? Where'd you get that number?
In the book.
What book?
Little black book.
Police found multiple dead bodies on that vineyard.
Drugs are a dangerous occupation.
Like it or not, you're a person of interest.
I'm an interesting person.
Not even a little curious?
About?
How I found you?
Saw the license plates for the VW. GPS gave you the location. How am I doing so far?
I'm just getting started. Recall.
Very good. 2 C's, 2 L's.
Gio goes to the school to pick up his daughter, but as he waits, he receives a threatening call from Marco. Marco warns Gio to stay away from his matters, or else they will kill his daughter. Panicked, Gio rushes back home, only to be confronted by Marco's gang. They begin beating him in front of his sister and warn him that if he interferes with Marco's business again, he will face the deadly consequences of losing his daughter. After issuing the threat, the gang leaves, leaving Gio shaken and helpless. Later, Gio visits Enzo to treat his injuries. When Robert sees Gio in such a condition, he asks him what happened, but Gio refuses to provide any details. Robert senses that Gio is hiding something serious, but Gio remains tight-lipped. Concerned and determined, Robert begins his own training, preparing himself to face any potential threats that might come his way. Collins arrives to meet Robert, expressing her frustration. She tells him that she has tried hard to find any information about him, but could not uncover anything. Everything about him seems to be erased, as if he does not exist. Then, she shares some details about Vincent, the most powerful and dangerous gangster in the city. Robert listens quietly, not revealing anything about himself. After a moment of silence, Collins leaves, still unsure about Robert's true identity.
Why smuggle drugs into the most secure port in the entire region?
Circle back to you with the answer when I'm done.
That night, Gio takes his family out for a dinner date. As they are enjoying their meal, Marco and his gang walk in and sit at Gio's table. Marco starts threatening Gio, demanding that he works for him. As Marco continues to intimidate Gio, he notices Robert sitting at a nearby table. Marco locks eyes with Robert, who is staring at him without blinking. Marco, feeling challenged, tells Robert to stop staring at him, mentioning that he does not know who he is.
You should stay out of things that are not your concern.
Lord knows I'm allergic to bad things. Everything in life is about timing. Now, unfortunately for you, 3 weeks ago, we wouldn't be having this conversation, but I'm here now.
You warning me?
I'm preparing you.
E si sta preparando, è simpatico, va.
Is that a timer? Right there. That's the median nerve. That's a 3. You don't want me to go to 4. Tell your compadres that they can leave.
Vania! Vania!
Now listen to me. Take the gun out of your waist. Put it on the table.
Ti ammazzare sto figlio di puttana, va.
As Marco falls, Robert walks away, leaving the chaos behind. The next morning, the police arrive at the crime scene. Gio, seeing Marco's dead body, feels a sense of satisfaction inside, though he keeps his emotions in check. Suddenly, a massive explosion rocks Rome. News spreads quickly that the funds for the blast came from drug dealings. The story is all over the TV channels. Frank calls Collins urgently, instructing her to investigate the truth behind the explosion. Collins heads to the police chief and briefs him on the situation. She requests permission to speak with a prisoner. After gaining approval, she meets with the prisoner, who reveals the location of a place connected to the crime.
What's the deal?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did someone tell you that there was a deal?
The police chief arrives at Vincent's place, where people are mourning Marco's death. The chief approaches Vincent and informs him that the CIA has taken over the case. He advises Vincent to lay low and pause his illegal activities for a while. The chief orders him to go underground for a period of time. Vincent, however, refuses to comply. Tensions rise as the chief continues to pressure him. Vincent becomes enraged, and his guards quickly step in to restrain the chief. In a fit of anger, Vincent cuts the chief's wrist. He then drags the chief outside, declaring that he will find out who murdered his brother at any cost. Vincent demands the chief's help in his search for answers. Robert calls Collins and reveals to her the identity of the person behind all the events that have unfolded. As they are talking, Collins's car suddenly explodes in a blast. Her team rushes her to the hospital, where she is immediately admitted. The explosion has left her in critical condition, and she is placed in the ICU. Her team and Robert anxiously wait for updates on her condition. Vincent and his gang travel to Altoonte, where they find Gio. They fire a gun near his ear, threatening to kill him and his family unless the murderer of Vincent's brother shows up. Robert steps forward and tells Vincent to take him.
Roberto! I killed your brother. I asked him, leave these people alone. He wouldn't listen.
You understand what happens now?
I understand death. I understand suffering. God is my witness.
I understand I can take anything I want.
Then take me. Just don't do it here.
This is the best place, American. So these people can see and tell others what they witnessed.
Okay. Your choice.
Ovvero!
Stanno registrando, Vincent.
I'll be back. I'll be waiting for you. Hurry up. Hurry up, sooner than you think.
Vincent returns to his compound and starts making plans to attack Altoonte the following day. However, McCall is one step ahead and has already infiltrated the compound. He starts eliminating Vincent's men one by one.
Where was the blood?
Who are you?
So I know. Where was the blood?
In a coordinated effort, the CIA and Interpol...
Robert later visits the hospital where Collins is staying. He admits to her that the real reason he came to Sicily was to retrieve pension money that had been stolen by criminals. He leaves her with a bag full of money. Collins then travels to Boston. The man and his wife are emotional and deeply grateful to find that their money has been recovered. When Collins returns to work, she receives a little black book from Robert. Inside the book are details about his personal gatherings, along with a note that says that your mother would be so proud of you. Collins then looks at a photograph on her desk, revealing that she is Susan's daughter. Meanwhile, Robert stays in Altoonte and joins the locals in celebrating the victory of their football team. I hope you guys enjoyed my recap, and if you did, then be sure to subscribe, like, and share the video for more awesome recaps, and as always, thank you very much for watching.